Hey, great Thursday. Yes, great Thursday evening. Let me say, guys, it is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And let me say, I thought that I had everything down, packed, and ready. But then, sure enough, one of the most important things, I did not have my TV set up in front. And it's important to me. Why is my camera on? That is crazy. Why is my camera on? Let me close everything else. That is just berserk. What happens is I use the external camera. I use my Canon that's right there. Este, and let me say that it works perfectly. That's why I set it up this way. The way I have it set up, I'm looking at the camera, but on the side of the camera, because I have a TV screen up here. So I'm looking. No, I was here at 9 o'clock. I was here at 9 o'clock, Snoopy. I really was. But anyway, I have that might be something's glitchy with my system. So I'm looking at the side of the camera and the TV set that's right there. There, camera, TV. Look at my eyes, camera, TV. So what I do is I shift the screen to where it's camera, camera. So it kind of looks like I'm looking straight at everyone. It's cinematography magic. But what I'm trying to say is, for some reason, you know how on your computer, because I have my laptop right there. That's why sometimes I look that way because I'm trying to see if I could click on the comments. But for some reason, the camera is on, and that is actually bothering me a little bit because it shouldn't be on. I mean, why would it be on unless somebody was watching? I'm not a paranoid individual. It's just trippy that that camera is on. It shouldn't be on because I'm using that camera, not that camera. Let's get to some comments. Good evening. Good evening. Tacos sa Calacas. I've not been to Uh, I've never been to Calacas. Este, I don't know why. Just never. You know, is it good? I might visit Calacas. What I am having is my Delta 8 40 milligram CBD cook from Vibe Cafe. Let me tell you, they have some amazing stuff. I was out there today, had a chance to see a lot of my friends. I was actually on a date, and it went well. Had a great conversation with a doctor friend of mine, and it's so cool. She's like, maybe a la mejor sí soy de la high, because now I only associate with doctors and dentists, and I'm joking a little bit. Good evening. Good evening. Qué vergüenza. 901. I wasn't on. I was actually on time. Good evening. Saca cheese grapes. Maybe. I haven't had a cheese grip in a while since I found these cheese strings up in at Walmart. So I buy the cheese strings. Pretty awesome. I'm running out of coconut water. Do you think they should consider giving an extra week off till they like they did in some school districts? Too many cases. It's going to be worse school. Let me say, I have noticed that in some districts out there, they are opting to add an extra week onto the break, and I think it's something that a lot of individuals are taking into account based on certain numbers that they're finding in their respective communities. And I'll share this much. I think what happened with a lot of these communities is that they are having a large number of hospitalization rooms, hospitalized patients, to whereas there are no rooms in the hospitals. So these school districts and these cities are afraid that if they send students back to school, even though they may be okay with COVID-19, what's going to happen is that these folks are maybe carrying the virus back and forth, to whereas they're going to have more individuals in the hospital. I don't know how bad our hospital situation is. No one has bothered to share that information with us. I did. We did see in the morning that Hidalgo County, for the first time in a long time, 600 positive. Sam, do you know if they've made mention in regards uh, to the number of how bad our hospitals are right now?
I haven't heard anything. I know that there were about like 28 people in ICU.
That's
That's the number right now.
but that's a lot, no? Locally, Brownsville, or county wise?
I wanna say Bronzeville. I'm not too sure though. Or county, because I was seeing the county website, and it had the stats there, and then it had said like 28 in ICU. Um, but it I don't know. There's so many factors to it. Um, wouldn't know if it's exactly, um, I guess what's exactly is affecting the whole spike in the COVID cases.
It's to say the least, it's weird. I mean, I have not gotten this many texts and messages in regards to where they testing, where they testing, where they testing. It's like a lot of people are tripping out about it. And
Yeah,
and before I go into, let me say, when we were first doing these shows, a lot of people were going, "Well, that's more instead. You're just out there scaring people." I'm going like, guys,
yeah,
don't think it takes much to scare people out there. But with that said, it wasn't my fault or my responsibility for individuals being scared or not being scared. I mean, we haven't even been making a big old deal mentioned in regards to what's going on with COVID and the lines and everything here, just posting on them, and still people are tripping on it. So I just don't know
with just basic information of
what.
having to go get tested.
Can't hear you.
And
Oh,
even
the,
with the basic information of having to go get tested, I know many people are saying like don't get tested, wait for the people who are extremely sick and whatnot, and some people are getting like false negatives. Um,
too
and
many.
some of them tests are just like the checking for like there's two types of tests. One that checks for like the actual virus, other ones for like the proteins and whatnot. Um, but there's so many factors to it too. But if you feel sick, might as well like take those precautions. Getting tested.
Well, but then we go into like, well, what's going to happen with? Look, they we already know that they don't have any antibodies to fight in case anyone gets positive. They do not have them.
That too.
Okay, here in the county. They're having a hard time getting them in the state level. So there's no one is prepared for it. But my concern is that individuals who may not have COVID are taking up a COVID test that could benefit someone that actually does have COVID, as the just because they have a couple of sniffles. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, especially if they're kids, guys. If your kids have COVID, is the I guess the percentage rate of individuals are going to be okay. Greater percentage are going to be okay. So, do we really want to clog up all these lines with individuals that are, got the sniffles? I don't know. But do you think that the district should add an extra week?
It's hard to tell, man. Since everybody's still gonna travel, hopefully people still take those precautions and whatnot. I don't think they'll add the extra week. Even if they add the extra week, you're still gonna end up like prolonging the semester another week at the end, and it's gonna throw everything out of whack for the scheduling for the graduations, and then the whole ceremonies, and then the start of the summer school, and if it goes out of hand, like the whole virus again, and push come to shove, everything goes back to online, and it's gonna be a whole mess all over again, man.
It's still a hot mess. But let me
Yeah, it
ask you
sure
something.
is.
Um, what if we get another variant, like an actual horrible variant?
Well, there is a list of like at the CDC website. There's a list of like different variants, or I guess what would be the next one. But I don't know like all the terminology and whatnot, so I couldn't quite decipher all that information from CDC because it's not quite in like in basic terms.
like in layman terms.
Yeah,
And
basic commoner terms.
been out of the loop. What's been going on? Nelda, Miss you, Nelda. Same old, same. Good evening, a Frank, Mama, and good evening, a Julio, my compadre. Good evening, a darling. The mug that I want to send you, do you want it to have an L for Lali or an E for Erasmo? Let's go E for Erasmo because I think very few people, and the Lali is with a Y, very few people actually know that I get called Lali a lot in certain circles. But
Like
here,
people that actually know you just call you gordo, no?
not anymore. Hey, yeah, you're not as skinny as you used to be, baby. I saw you today, and we're like, man, those tamales, bro. They hit the
Son
spot.
torta de tamal, bro. Es torta de tamal.
Torta de tamal.
Even more bread in there.
Let me say, I mean, the tortas de tamal are so delicious, man. La
They sure
guajolotas,
are, man.
delicious. Las guajolotas, that's what they call them
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico City. They're so damn delicious. It's like, why am I eating bread on bread? You know, but it's so good that you don't care that it's bread on bread.
Yeah.
As guajolotas. The government is watching. I'm still tripping that that light is on. The camera light for my computer is on. You know
That means it's on. It's literally on.
what?
But you would have to like I guess get it scanned or whatnot, or just restart it.
No, I think the government's watching. Well, one of the things
Normally, what they do, they just block it off, like with a little paper. That's like the people that are paranoid. They'll just block off the the little screen, the lens.
I got a post-it. There you go, federal government. Now I feel a little bit better, man. I still see that neon green light, but they can't see it. All they see is an orange post-it. The government is Delta 8 fire. They
They
disposable.
disposable get me elevated.
They disposable.
Is that the new street drug or something?
Well, I don't know if you got on, but
Del West End.
De las Prietas. This is the new. Well, this is the Delta 8 40 milligram CBD cookie from Bright Cafe. I love that place. Hacker. I've already blocked the hacker. Evening. See, what do you think of Delta 8? I'm eating Delta 8 THC. What's Delta 8 CBD right now? Sam, what do you take on Delta 8?
Never tried it. I've had CBD, but not the THC brownies or anything like that. Pero I popped those like Skittles, the CBD.
I mean, I like it because supposedly it helps calm and soothe you down. I'm still waiting. Everyone, get ready for the cold weather that's coming. I mentioned it because the city isn't going to do anything, as you all know, but you still have to pay for the taxes and services. Well, yeah, and this is where I think, Sam, that one of the things that people say is true. Like they say, well, you got to fend for yourself, and that's true. You got to fend for yourself as
Yeah.
much as possible, especially when government fails to do their job. But with that said, I believe in fending for yourself, but don't excuse their stupidity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, don't let. I mean, they have to provide. It's their job to provide. But in the circumstances that we live in, help yourself out. Good evening. Check out Netflix. Don't look up, a kind of COVID parody. I actually, as to have that on my list to watch. Don't look up.
I saw part of it. Then I had to go do some errands. But I did hear that that was supposedly the case for like years to come, like decades ahead, about the whole meteorite hitting. But it was supposed to be like decades from now. I don't know about how many years, but I don't know if it was a COVID parody or not. But I thought it was more of a like, yeah, it is bound to happen again, but not anytime soon.
Well, last time we got a worldwide pandemic was in 1917.
Yeah, but no, that movie's about like a meteorite hitting,
But if
and
it's a
everybody's just
parody,
focusing on some other like celebrities' divorces, like the Kardashians and stuff like that. They were focusing on some other stuff, and it's like when about the story about a while back that some guy was gonna build an ark and nobody believed him. That it was gonna rain for days,
40.
and then the water came. It was exactly like that.
I think I knew that guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. The U.S. reported more than 1.9 million new cases this week, which equals about 3 Americans testing positive for COVID-19 per second. That's a
Wow.
lot.
What was it before?
I don't know. But you know what? It's kind of crazy. I'm just not concerned.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine because I don't know if you saw the first part. I was actually out on a date with a doctor, and
Yeah. Does he know about it?
does he know that we were on a date?
No. The dentist know about it. Wait until he finds out. He's gonna cut you off.
I keep my dentist away from my doctors. No, we went out to have a cup of coffee and we're just talking, going back and forth. Actually, talking a lot about Mexico, Matamoros. But
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is that I think a friend of mine asked me in regards to bringing on a doctor to come here and talk about all these variants and stuff. And guys, I just don't see what good it will do to bring a doctor on. I don't think they even know what the hell is going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's hard to. It's something new that not many people know, I guess, as far as the disease or the virus. Um, and I guess they're already starting with the whole trying to find a way to protect everybody from it. So it's something new, just like when the other viruses broke out, you know. So it's gonna take a while before we adjust and find the correct, vaccine for it, you know.
Yeah. Uh, and I hate saying this, guys. I personally am not concerned because again, I'm going to go back into guys. Just do the right thing. I don't want to go back into quarantine. I don't want the
Yeah,
mandates. It's
it
a bunch of
wasn't fun at all.
not fun at all. It's a bunch of bull crap. The county is full of crap. Eddie Trevino is full of crap. Joey Lopez is full of crap. They make mandates that they want you and me to follow, and they don't want to lift a finger. And they want to do completely. They're the Nancy Pelosi's of Brownsville, Texas. Eddie Trevino and Joey Lopez are the Nancy Pelosi's of Brownsville, Texas. So screw both of you. Nos saca los tacos. Vamos. I saw someone complaining about nurses being inexperienced as far as COVID testing. Yes, it is concerning, but can we not bash them? They're exposing themselves to your mocos, and you still complain. I'm on the fence on this one, and I'll tell you why. Uh, I wanted a highly trained doctor or a highly trained nurse. I I don't want to bash them, but I want to be taken care of by someone that's up there. No, Sam?
Yeah, well, so it's understandable, but I do remember that in the beginning of the pandemic, there was a part where they were starting to expedite the certifications of nurses to get more help because, as it is, it was thinned out as it has always been. And then with pandemic, it's even worse. So now people are working like crazy hours, and then to be taking nonsense from people is even worse. But no, yes, I do understand you want an experienced person, but people got to start somewhere. They're not always gonna be like knowledgeable straight out the bat from like the couple of months of training from the schools.
Well, true. So I'll tell you, like when I had nothing against nurse practitioners, but I changed doctors. I went from Dr. Factoriza, and now I am going to hopefully be a patient of Dr. Saavedra. And I switched primary doctors. First of all, because I know Dr. Saavedra, I've had conversations with Dr. Saavedra. I think so Dr. Saavedra is very, very knowledgeable. But you know that in the year and a half that I was a patient of Dr. Factoriza, you know that I did not see him one time. It's a he, right? You know, Sam?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a he or she.
I think anyone out there, I think Dr. Farid is a he. Never met the guy. Never. And
No, never man.
every
The
single
only
time I
the only doctor I know that I personally know that's really really good, and I know that Mitelis has gone to is Dr. Molina down southmost. He's a
or
really
well, that's
good, knowledgeable
Papa.
person, and he actually does see you, like even though it might be like 10 minutes or whatnot, but he's a knowledgeable doctor.
That's the guy over there by Southmost Elementary, right?
Yeah, by Southmost Elementary, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's Papa's doctor.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the other
Papa.
doctor that's really good that my mother's going to is Dr. Martinez over here on Paredes. Yanira Martinez.
I've heard of Dr. Martinez.
Yeah, she's really good. Their PA is also really knowledgeable. I can't. Uh, Cerdosa, I want to say it's the last name. Something with a C. But she's also very knowledgeable. Because it's mostly being seen by the PA, and is every so often with the doctor.
Yeah, well, I never got to see Dr. Favorisa, and I decided to switch. So I called Dr. Saavedra's office, and they say, okay, sure, we're going to schedule you for, to meet with the nurse practitioner. And we're like, let me say something. Este, I'm coming to you because I was only seen by the nurse practitioner. Eh,
Yeah.
Am I ever going to see Dr. Saavedra? You know? And she goes, no, no,
Because that's
yeah.
what some doctors do, man. They'll just run the whole place with their PA, um, and they'll rarely see the doctor. The doctor rarely see patients. It's just mainly the practitioner assistant.
Yeah. Well, and to all fairness, the nurse practitioners at Dr. Pastoriza's office are amazing. Great, great folk. Great, great nurses. As they're great medical field professional. With that said, I would have liked to have seen or met the doctor once or twice.
Yeah,
You were saying you didn't get why people were all getting COVID tested. Some people needed to return back to work. They don't have a choice. It's not like they want to do it. It's required at some jobs. I don't think that unless you have a federal job, I don't think that they can mandate for you to have a COVID negative test. That makes sense, Sam?
it makes sense. But you was like being on the considerate side, you would want to get that negative before heading back to work. But there's also those false negatives, so it's either damn you do, damn you don't type of situations.
Yeah, we did put up a bunch of cases out there where a lot of individuals had, tested negative, and then all of a sudden they were positive.
Oh, you know what? That's what I was mentioning the other time, like about 2 3 shows back. That the ones that they ask for a negative is people who are not vaccinated. Like if you're going back to work, I
Yeah,
know some companies if you're not vaccinated, um, and you get COVID, you need to come back with the negative results. But if you're vaccinated, you can just go back after 5 days.
I do. again, I need to research on it because if I understood correctly, is that according to Governor Abbott, you couldn't demand that individuals get vaccinated. Is that
Correct. You can't demand them, but you can't. I think some employers are able to ask like a negative result in case they get COVID.
I don't know. I think that the only jobs like I think can do that are jobs that have anything to do with the federal government, which might make sense in regards to maybe Southwestern Keys, you know, because
Yeah.
they
Well, what
still.
about teachers? Like, won't they like kind of expect them to get a negative before infecting like a bunch of students?
Well, it's not federal funds. I mean, well, let me correct that. Federal funds are used for students, but they're mostly like food products, bilingual programs, different other things that aren't necessarily. Well, it's kind of a weird different deal. But I think federal funds are distributed otherwise and by other departments and don't necessarily have to deal directly with kids, although that's what they're for. Something like that, because I was wondering
Yeah.
that about if school staff would have to get vaccinated or would have to show negative COVID tests in order to return back to work. And one of the things I think is concerning a lot of parents out there is that there's a lot of people are thinking that they are going to have to get COVID tested at to go back to school, and I don't think that that's the case. They are stating that they are setting up COVID testing at all schools, but I think that's just to make sure to see if you have COVID. My concern is who's
Yeah.
going to be administering all these tests? I mean, we
And
have to
can you test them? Like, they still need the parents' permission, don't
offer
they?
permission. You have, yeah, 100%. You can't intervene
And
with a
what happens
student.
after they test positive? They're gonna be sent home.
See, there's a lot of just stuff out there that just doesn't make much sense because again, what is going to happen? What's
Yeah.
going to happen if someone's test positive? What's going to happen? But I think the reasoning with having these testing sites throughout the campus is that they're trying to quicken up and let a lot of individuals get tested if they want to get tested. I don't think you have to get tested. But with that said, who's going to be at all these schools to administer these
Yeah.
tests?
Not only that, man, but all it takes is to get a couple of friends to go tell the teacher that you're feeling kind of sick, and you go to the nurse and it's 10 of you, and then there goes the whole period, and then you go,
This is
así te vas.
like like we used to do it, right?
I'll plead the fifth on that one.
Get eating, get eating, get eating. Saw the video of you on your scooter. It was fun. Uh, I was in Matamoros, and I tell people I literally drive my scooter to Matamoros, and it trips people out, but they love it. Who is the guy who is running?
Does it piss people off that you're just going right through the cars?
You know what? I think people find it as interesting. Like, mira, ahí viene Erasmo. I don't know. Who is the guy who's
Yeah.
running for BISD board, and who currently holds place two? If so, are you running for their spot again? Uh, if you're asking Sam, I'm not sure. If you're asking me, I've already answered this question. If you're asking
I
me,
wouldn't
I've
be able
already
to
answered
run for
the question.
BISD board. According to Erasmo, I'm in Los Fresnos. Don't
Well,
get me
I'm not,
wrong, man. I could run in Los Fresnos, and it only takes about 200 people vote to like get any position here.
and you're in.
No joke. And I could get those real quick at Walmart.
Or la 14. La 14 de Los Fresnos, which is Arnie's wing barn. It's good stuff.
No way.
And the place to pick up folk is at Arnie's.
Uh,
They got some good food. Victor Caballero is running. Victor Caballero, I like Victor Caballero. He's a friend of mine. He was the principal at Garden Park for a while. Now, am I going out saying, guys, I want Victor Caballero to be on the board? Well, I do right now, uh, in regard in regards to the individuals that are have signed up. I mean, right now he's running against Denise La Muerta de Hambre Garza. So as of right now, yeah, if you're asking me who I would vote for right now in place two, it would be Victor Caballero. no doubt. But it's like I told Roman, it's nothing personal. Again, I like Mr. Caballero. The other Mr. Ortiz, Frank Ortiz, is running for, I think, against Drew, I think. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Guys, I don't want anyone to commit to anyone out there until we know all the candidates that are running. You know, let's vet all the candidates and then decide on which is the best candidate. Because what happens is you burn out. Because let's say there's the 100 people going, oh no, we're going to support Mr. Caballero. Well, that's great. But what if someone better comes? You know? And I'm not saying Mr. Caballero is not great. Saying like, what if? You know? We got to keep our options open, people. I think. Yes, unfortunately, another day, same drama. Local drama doesn't change like the young and the restless. Well, I think they've had the same plots going on for like decades. Did you pop in? That's what was tripping. Hello, guys. I heard some people took the rapid COVID test and came out negative, but in the hospital they came out positive. Now who is lying? P.S. Tomato on whiskey. Tomato whiskey. Tomate un whisky. Tú invita, papi, yo tomo. Oh, es yeah, that's what we were talking about, Benjamin. Unfortunately, there's a lot of these cases going on where individuals have tested negative and then all of a sudden they tested positive. I got something that can calm you and soothe you down. Wow, boom, chicka, wow, wow. Hola,
No, that's what I was saying earlier about the false negatives from the test. Sorry.
Minerva's back. Sorry? Hello? Sam?
No, can you hear me?
No. Now. Sam has 1950 microphones and speakers. 1952, to be exact. And he thinks he's Voltron. And he's freezing. Hello, hello, hello. Hola, Minerva. It was unexpected, Trix Mendes. Get ready for some cold stock up, and you don't want to go out at Erasmo. Yeah, it's gonna be cold. Hi, Minerva Castro. Are you here to give Erasmo tips on how not to develop tensions? I take on testing positives because they don't want to categorize it as anything else. I don't. You know what? I just think a lot of people just don't know what the heck is going on. No more allergies, colds, or flus. No, they're all COVID. What? Let's not forget Joe ever gave vouchers to his family so that they could get vaccinated for his daughter's wedding. Then during the freezing pandemic, he hosted his daughter's wedding packed event, 100%. Please comment. Dr. Sarah is amazing. She dedicates time to her patients. Love her. Yes, Arisa is a he. Wouldn't know. It took just ask you for permission to date your. Oh my god, my screen froze. It might be just internet. Did y'all hear dealers will not have their yearly January 1st sale like every year? Se van a enojar los de Matamoros y Monterrey. Do you think it was canceled because of Omicron? Maybe. I'm Frankie Olivo. You look like Frankie Olivo. Have you seen Frankie Olivo recently? Guy got fat. And you know what? One of the reasons why I think Frankie Olivo has gotten so fat is because he stopped doing those damn shows. Fat. Huge. Super fat.
Hey, can you hear me now or no?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It does not matter if it's the day before. That's why people don't understand. People need to quarantine until PCR comes back. Your video froze. Mine or Sam's? Both?
Probably
You
mine.
want some good pan dulce? Go to Godoy's Bakery on Highway 100 in Paredes. Is that true, Sam?
It's good. I believe there's like two main bakeries. The one Godoy's and the one in front of the park. They're on 100, but they're both really good. They used to have Godoy's. They used to have gorditas, but not anymore. The gorditas are really good.
Now I want some. We know Denise Garcia sucks at public speaking and at forums. Yes, so uneducated, superbly uneducated. Let me tell you guys, never in the history of BISD has there been a less educated board. And look, I mean, I had my bachelor's degree. Some people on that board right now don't even have a bachelor's degree, guys. That's who's covering your children's education. I mean, La Daniela bought hers. La Muerta de Hambre doesn't have one. La Jessica Snaggletooth, that chick, I don't think she has a junior high education. Then you got little Eddie who doesn't have a bachelor's degree. I mean, the guy was a cop and kissed butt throughout his cop career, and they gave him the McGruff job. Take a bite out of crime. I mean, the guy you heard can't speak, guys. Cannot give a discourse. I mean, para nada. ¿De qué le sirvió get that cushy job at Brownsville Police Department for all those years where he was the McGruff that take a bite out of crime dog, perro? And ¿de qué le
That's when you
sirvió?
start seeing all the nepotism.
Exactamente. Those are the people that get those halfway decent jobs because being the spokesperson and the McGruff of a police department and make more than someone that's out there putting their life on the line is because you're out there kissing
Yeah.
butt, especially when you can't speak a word, a sentence, a discourse without stumbling or struggling, like me with that sentence or phrase or paragraph.
That was just an example.
That was an example, guys. Do all Walmarts have some girls shopping with them nalgas hanging out, or is it only the one in Los Fresnos? No, it's every single one of them. I've actually
I have
this
heard though that Los Fresnos has been getting a lot of people from Brownsville though.
I see. Maybe that's why the influx is coming in. No, let me say every
It's
Walmart.
something.
I think that's one of the things I got actually very famous for calling out the muffin top chicks with a pelucita in their belly button. Do you think it's possible schools could start a
The
week late?
famous people of Walmart.
Actually, I think we need a Hallmark card with that, where you pull the pelucita out of the belly button. Do you think it's possible schools could start a week later due to high cases? No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. They don't have the science behind it. There is no science. Medina's Bakery in Los Fresnos, Highway 100, very good. ¡Ay, nos esperamos! ¡Ah, manda! Mándame un pedacito de pan. I'll promote the hell out of that Godoy's. What's up with the new CDC guidelines? Only 5-day quarantine and don't need to retest to return to work. What about the spreading the virus to? I don't think they know. I mean, nobody knows at this point. I think up in the air. I must agree. We need to wait until all candidates are made known. Voters need to be informed. Yep. Let's just wait, please, guys. Don't fall into like, oh, sounds. He was a principal of mine, was a teacher of mine, and it's nothing against any of the candidates. Let us wait. The good thing about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, is that we already know in most of the cases who's going to be our candidate, guys. And let me tell you right now, guys, in the Republican field, I'm hoping that there is change at the district clerk's office. I really, really do. And I know of a lot of individuals out there who would do a heck of a job. County clerk's office. County clerk. My bad. Estás bien bueno, Erasmo. You're right. I wish there was a picture of little Eddie as McGruff. Somebody's got to have one. Are you having a show on New Year's Eve, or what's the agenda for these next few days? Yeah, except on Saturdays. Have Saturday morning, but that's it. Has BISD updated their policy with the new CDC guidelines? Absolutely not. They have no pan. Harvey's breakfast tacos, very good. Sam, have you tried them?
I have, because I know that there's same ones from Piedad restaurant, but I'm more of like a dining in person for Piedad, and their breakfast is, I want to say 9 out of 10. You know, it's highly recommended. I know
Really?
there's some other shops here, Elvas, but it's more affordable on Elvas. It's a lot busier. So I prefer Piedad, where it's more chill, kickback, and I'll just pay a little bit more for it. But it's
Well,
really
you got
good. It's highly
bugs.
recommended. Aquí no pales como agua pico. It's
You got big
delicious.
bucks anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sam, any last words?
um, I guess tomorrow is the last day for the toy drive. Anything else is coming in.
It's gonna be okay.
I don't know. That's about it. That's about it for me.
Guys, I'm going to end the show early, because I'm tired and shoot, and I've actually got a little bit of work to do. Thanks for coming on, Sam, and thanks for bringing over candies. I actually already took them to Matamoros and dropped them off there at the church building where they're going to do the. Are you going to go to the campaña or to the kid event?
Which one?
Matamoros?
The one for 8th January?
Yeah.
I'll try if I'm not busy. But it's because I'm usually busy like morning and evening, depending on the time.
Oh.
If I'm able to go, it'll probably be like in and out type of deal.
Well, it's in Matamoros. It's kind of hard to go in and out unless you
Yeah, unless
they
I
take
have a
you-
scooter.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind bringing you over, and then I could go drop you off after an hour or two at the bridge.
Yeah. But
All right.
I'll keep you posted, man. Regarding that.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for coming on. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we'll be on. With a little bit more of energy. I think it's just been a rough day, and we'll be here Friday night and Saturday morning, and then we're off for the weekend. So, guys, thank you. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. Still believe in all that crap. I'm done. But be careful. Keep yourself safe and healthy, and don't get COVID. And if you get COVID, stay away from me. Guys, just be good to each other. Please continue to be good to me. God bless.
All right. Bye.